Okay. Yeah, so you wanted to continue from yesterday, right? Pitru.
Yes.
Okay, so there are two things, but one is that this is for all the three, so it's not only for Bhatt. So there are two things. One is Pitru and another one is Preta. So first and foremost, we need to know what is the Preta Atma. So right now we are all Pretas or Pitru. What do you think?
I thought we are the third category. After death, till you become Pitru, it is Preta, right? But during death, this is Jivatma.
Jivatma is only intellect.
Is it?
That is what we studied in Vivekachudamani.
Yeah.
So you have forgotten.
Then what am I? Aham Brahmasmi. Is it?
So the basic thing is that when we have desires which are fulfilled or not to be fulfilled or yet to be fulfilled or all of that conditions, what has been set is called as Preta. So right now,
What are the conditions?
whatever the condition have been set, we have set certain condition, right? We have said that there is husband is going to be there, wife is going to be there, son is going to be there, daughter is going to be there, house is going to be there, profession is going to be there. All those going to be there together is called as Preta.
That means we are Pretatma now.
Yes. So we are in pursuit of happiness. So we are trying to exhaust as much vasana as we can. Now what happens when a person or that Preta which is residing in this body called as a Jivi now comes out of the body? What would be the state? That state is Preta state.
That means which is separated from Bhautika Sharira.
Yes. So now the problem here is this Atma, Preta Atma, is in search of whom? Who is it in search of?
No, I didn't get the question.
No, 1 minute. So let me back out a little. Now, while we are having this body, are we in search of something?
When you have this body?
Are we in search of something?
Happiness, yes.
No, what is happiness as per us?
What I want when my karma is satisfied,
No.
I'm always busy in that. Food and that desire.
No, if that was there, then you would become a Pitru. Now,
Okay, then we are in search of myself.
no,
God, that is another.
No, you are not.
dimension.
You are not. See, let's say your wife has gone out. She has not returned back home. Are you in search of her or not?
Yes.
Then your daughter is yet to give you a call. Today is Friday evening or Saturday morning for you and Friday evening for her. She's supposed to give you a call and she has not called. Aren't you in search of her?
Yes.
Okay, this searching is called as Preta. You are in search of that person. Okay. So now
In search of something going around for that.
yes, so you are pursuing it, right? So I am pursuing my son and my wife. We three are there. The son is pursuing the parent. The parents are pursuing the son.
Yes.
Now, even if he gets married, the two parents are going to pursue the son. As far as the parent goes, the son is still that small child.
Yeah.
So the mother feels that my son will not know how to take care, so let me explain to him how to take care. The father thinks that the finances will not be able to be managed by this son, so I should manage his finance, or his profession, or his whatever he is doing, and when he should have a child or when he should not have a child, for everything the parent would like to interfere, basically. So let's assume for the time being that parent is cut off from the body. What happens? What is he pursuing now?
Yeah, I got it. That person would like to continue the same thing what he was doing for his son. That Preta.
Yes. So will he ever become Pitru?
He will never. No moksha there. He will be wandering till he gets another birth.
No. Unless he exhausts his karma, he will not be able to go to Pitru. Without going to Pitru Loka, you cannot get another birth. So now this person is stuck.
Oh.
Now this is what...
That's the reason people are trying to share the hands and them up.
Yes. Now you got
that
the point.
Only, we can't do their karma. It's only for our satisfaction.
This is the problem. So we think on the 13th day, you have given that to the Vishnupada, saying that, my dear Vishnu, now you take care of the Jivi, ensure that he doesn't come to my home to torture me. But that Jivi or that Preta is pursuing its family members. Its home, its bank balance, its son or daughter, wife, husband, relatives, all that it has sought. So can it give up? While living itself, it cannot give up. While dying, how can it give up?
Yes.
So this is what is the Viveka all about. If you pursue something, you are going to get the same thing in return. Nothing changed.
That I know. So when we say that I have this goal in my life to become an engineer, you will reach that stage. By then you will say, I want to buy a car. Everything is a goal. And you will keep reaching. But when you reach last, then you want to see son, mama go, and their wealth, their marriage, their upanayana, everything you want to see. That means no end. I agree.
Yes. So no end. So now the problem is...
But I was thinking, Vilas, forget about Atma, Preta and all that. Once you have the desire, you lost your Bhautika Sharira. I thought again you will enter to another Bhautika Sharira.
Yes, you will enter.
What I was thinking. I was not knowing in between something gets stuck.
No, you will enter.
Because there is no definition of why it should get stuck as per Vivekachudamani.
No, wait. I'm going to come to that. Now okay. It will not get stuck. But what happens here is that it will have to exhaust its karma. So let's just like, I am pursuing for a wife and I tried, couldn't find the wife, and then I give up.
Yes.
In the same way that Atma will give up and goes to Pitruloka on its own.
Oh, it will give up, huh?
Definitely, it will give up. Every being will, it's like food, right? If you don't get food, what will you do?
Give up, how that give up will happen when you don't have Bhautika Sharira?
No. It is the food of thought, right? It is just a food of thought. Just like, okay, I'll give you a very simple example. You are working with one company and the company is not allowing you to work. So what will you do? Won't you give up that company and join somewhere else?
Yeah. So email ID disabled means gone. Virtual.
Even if that person was interested to continue, the company is not allowing it to continue, right?
Yes.
So they have fired that person, even though he or she doesn't accept to it, and tomorrow he cannot come. So it gives up. That is exactly what that 13-day ritual is all about. Making that Pretatma to give up.
Yeah.
Now what happens? It will automatically starts exhausting its energy. Because there is no food now given to it. So what you are basically doing, the masika and everything, what you are doing to it, you are giving it for a day. One whole year is one day. So it has, you have delivered everything for it for one day worth of provisions, and now you take it. Now what it does, it has the memory of wife. It doesn't know who was my wife. It has a memory of husband, but it doesn't know who was my husband. It has a memory of son, but it doesn't know who was my son. Just like we have a memory of school, but after some time you will forget all about the school, but you know you had gone to a school. Only when you go to that school you remember everything. All the vivid memories come, but you faintly remember some school. And some people can remember most of it of that school because they are very much connected to that school. Okay, just the same way, this Atma now travels and gets into the Pitruloka. Once it is in the Pitruloka, that what Sapindikarana they do, that is how it works. So once it sees those many people waiting for the body, it will also accept and start waiting to come back. So this is the process. So what we are doing is, in 13 days we are doing that Sapindikarana, wherein you are connecting to your forefathers just to say that they are connected. But when in the Pitruloka, there is Pitrus only. There are no something called as my forefather, this forefather. Everybody is a forefather only. There is no linga. So it's only the Prit, it is only the Pitr. And that being, based upon its karma, it will come out of the dream like sequence and enter a body. So suddenly it wakes up. It wakes up at conception, thinking that it has got realized. Meaning it has found something called bliss. It will be so energetic. And it is stuck for another life. So, if we want to enter Devaloka, which is above this Pitruloka, you have to cut all relationship now.
I agree.
Then Devaloka is possible. So, what every saint will do is to cut the relationship in his mind. He doesn't take, he has a wife or a son or a daughter or a husband or a money or a house or this or that. And so there are two ways of doing it. One way of doing it is have Viveka, discrimination. Brahman Satya Jagat Mithya. This is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is surrender to that Supreme through bhakti. This is what Hindu philosophy is all about. Choose the one you want. So you want to choose Rama or Krishna or this one or that one. Okay.
So when you go out of this body, this Bhautika Sharira, then it will be wandering here and there. Then it will give up. Then it will go to Pitraloka.
Correct.
Is it possible directly jumping from there back to another physical body without going to Pitraloka?
Yes, it is possible in the case from human to animal.
Oh, human to human, not possible, huh?
Not possible.
That means we all descendants of this Pitraloka.
Yes, absolutely. There is no doubt.
So after Pitraloka, how many lokas are there above? One is Devaloka.
And then you have many, no? The list
And
is,
when you have no loka, that is nothing but end goal.
yes, no loka. Above Vishnu loka, like the experience what I had. And when I asked that person who was showing me, I asked him, it was so nice to be honest of in Vishnu loka. So I asked him, is this the end? He said, it's a loka. It is not the end of it. There are another 3 above this, and you don't have permit right now. And this was the first thing I shared with Lata in the morning, because it's so vivid. It was It stayed for the whole of the day. Each loka was literally visible. From the bottommost pit to the top. So in between, after the human birth, after the human loka, there is a loka called as Pitru Loka, which is a temporary shelter wherein, just like earlier in Tirupati, they used to have, and even now you have those rooms, right, where you sit. Same state, you sit. You wait for your turn. So now you require food. So what you do is, this son or daughter will give you the food for 30 days, and they do the Varsha Antaka. That is, there ends the matter. All the masikas will come to an end. Varsha Antaka. Actually, if you say Varshantaka, it means that that year ends the journey for that being, whether it is Preta or in Pitru, I don't know. I'm ending the journey. So 1 day supply will take it for a long time. So it will literally have, so earlier days the bullock and the cow were the only vehicle. So now they give the Godana because they think that they require vehicles. Then they give bed, then they give umbrella, then they give pillow, then they give light, they give like torch, and they give slippers and all that, because you don't know that path, how hard it would be for the Preta to reach Pitru. But the problem with that is, once you cross Vaitarani, you cannot come back. So you can't do that program every year. Singing the same mantra every year. And since we don't know, we have to do the same thing year after year. So the first process is correct. In whatever ritual we are doing, the 13 days process is perfect. Where you have Rudra, you have Yama, and you have this Preta. So the Rudra is consoling that Preta, or convincing that Preta to give up, and Yama is pulling it to the Pitruloka. And this Jivi, which has come out of the body, or this Preta with the body, is Jivi. So it has come out of the body. It is watching in horror its own body getting burnt away, or put into the casket, or in the ground, or wherever it is. But it cannot enter because the Navadvaras are closed, so it cannot enter back. Now it has memories, it doesn't know what to do, it is in utter state of confusion.
See, we are using the word that Jivatma left this Bhautika Sharira.
Correct.
And why, see, with some intention it has left. Then why it wants to come back? It is gone, right?
No, it has not left. It is, see, leaving your body is different than somebody pulling you out of the body, right? It is like somebody throwing you out of the...
It's a pulled out. Is it pulled out in this case?
It's like this, but you are staying in your home.
See, one person, he is not interested to die, but it happened. Death has happened due to some reason, maybe corona or something. That time, it is already, the Jivatma is out of this body.
Okay, I'll give you...
Why it is interested to come back to the same body?
I'll give you an example. Now, let's say you come out of your home and it gets locked. Would you be interested in going back to your home, or you feel that, okay, that's all it is, so I'm going out now?
No, that I want because I have
Same
that
thing.
connection.
Same thing. We are so obsessed with the body. It's not possible to give up. Aren't we obsessed with our body? You tell me.
Very much, very much.
So it is like a home for the
I
jiva.
love my body better than more than anything.
Yes,
That is that.
yeah. So for the jivatma, this body is its home. Would it be interested in somebody pulling out of the home and throwing that jivi out?
Yeah, who is pulling that out?
Its karma itself is pulling it. It's time up, right? See now.
Okay, time. Okay.
See, this is on lease. See, let's take it this way. It's a 80-year lease. Your house, let's say, is 80-year lease, and you have forgotten all about the lease agreement. Okay, so one fine day, the government officials will come and then say that you get out of this home. No matter what you are doing. You might be doing puja, you might be eating, you might be standing, you might be attending phone calls, you might be attending office work, you might be attending whatever. 4 people will come, pull your body out and throw you out from the home. And there is no way you can enter the home. What would you do?
Yes. I got it. It's similar to when you have a bank loan, when somebody pulls out. You don't feel like going out of your home.
No, here it is no bank loan. Here it is, the lease period is over.
Yes.
And you look at APJ Abdul Kalam, who was talking in Shillong, and he collapsed. Now, don't you think that he will not be interested in coming back?
He was interested, otherwise he would have become a sannyasi.
No, not that. He is still talking. So wouldn't he?
He was still talking and he wanted to become second time president. All that was there. But look, compared to others, he is much, much superior.
No, that is fine. We are not looking at whether he was superior or
No, he was interested in that. He was interested.
No, it is like this. But if you see his facial, that last reaction, he is still talking. That means he is engrossed in his talk. Correct?
Yes.
Now somebody has pulled him out. Wouldn't that being land up in confusion now?
Yeah, correct. It will be there. He has not finished.
He is not finished. So wouldn't he try to grab his body?
Yes, definitely yes.
So that cannot happen because all the 9 doors are closed. It's just like somebody slamming the door in front of you. Now that is Preta. So now it is our choice to either become Brahman or Preta. There are only 2 choices. So Vivekachudamani, if you follow correctly, you will understand that having relationships with anything is a Preta existence. So you better cut the relationship before you close your eyes. So that you don't come back again. First Preta, then Pitru, then come back. So to test that, what do? They take the rice and they put it to the crow. So they feel that this jivi will now come in the form of a crow and it will eat. That means that jivi did not have any desires of coming back to that family. That's a test they do. That is also correct. I can give you an example of my cousin who lost his father when they were traveling from Bangalore to Dharwad by train. So at Davangere, that my uncle, he had a heart attack. So my cousin and his wife and all were going, so they tried their best to stop the train, and it stopped, and then the railway medical team and the railway police, they took him out, and he was the mouth was having the froth and other things, and lot of the liquid were coming from his nose and other areas. So they knew that it is a heart attack, so they pulled him out, and then they took him to the local hospital there, and they said he's dead. Okay, so then we also went to Dharwad, and this ritual was to be done, the Dharmodaka, and after that he is supposed to feed to the crows. Now that area where we had gone is filled with crows, but not even one crow is coming near. So we tried till 4 p.m. from 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It did not. So then what they did is they then made a mud kind of one crow, and they fed it, and then lot of apologies were asked to be made by the son and the daughter and wife and all that, so that that preta doesn't follow. So when my father died, so the same case, as soon as we kept the the rice, and the crow came and ate and left. So everybody were happy. Wow, your father has not kept any desire. And the same thing happened with my mother. So again the same ritual. So we kept the rice, and she came, or supposed to that she came and she ate and she left. So what it proves is, at least as a consolation, that this preta is not going to haunt you or haunt that family, because it was satisfied with its life, and it has accepted that it is no longer there. So that's a test what they do. And on 13th day, since this test has passed, you land that jivi or that preta to the pada of Vishnu by doing sapindikarana, and that will end the journey of that family, and that preta is now pitra. That means it is in waiting room. It has no idea any longer or any longing to go back to that family, because the test has passed. So after the first year, Varshantaka, enough food, enough provisions, everything has been given, so that Pitra will now have sufficient ration, sufficient clothing, sufficient shelter wherever it goes. So whenever its time comes to get a body, it will get, provided it is becoming a human. Otherwise, immediately it lands itself in an animal body. This is one. Two, if that body, that jivi, that preta has become divine already while living, whether you do the shraddha or you don't do the shraddha, immediately after leaving this body, it will become a 25-year-old and land up in Swarga. So now it is in Deva realm of existence. Okay, so those people who were missing this jivi will come and embrace. And there again, that families will be there. There is no sexual union or anything, so it is very pleasing. No kind of responsibility, ownership, food hunting and all that. It is just pleasing. All the five senses are the most pleasing. So So I was explaining to my wife yesterday about Vasundhara. Have you heard about this word called Vasundhara?
Yes.
Now, what is the meaning of that, Vasundhara?
Vasu. Ashtavasus.
Yeah, correct. Ashtavasu means, what is Vasu?
I have no idea.
Vasu means divine. Dhara is earth. Vasundhara is a divine way of your eyes and ears and nose and tongue and body. So what it means is, I was showing her when we were going on road, is that we are seeing filth. Our eyes are seeing filth. Our ears are hearing the noise of the vehicles. The smell is durgandha. Okay. And the touch is not that pleasing. If you are blessed with Vasundhara, you will be born in a place which will be Ramaniya, meaning you will be born in a beautiful place, even born as a human. Let us say you are born in Scandinavian country, wherein you have lakes and nice environment of free-flowing water, no pollution, and totally well-organized environment, either in Sweden or in Norway or some country where you don't see any filth at all, and there are no people to bother you, and you have a lot of wealth. There's nothing to search for. So as soon as you are born, you have most pleasing sight, most pleasing sound, most pleasing touch, the most pleasing taste, the most pleasing smell. So you are literally living like a divine being on earth. That is Vasundhara. Where we are born today and staying today is filth. Because we did not do the good karma to be born in a place which is, as a human I'm talking about, which is filled with good sight, good sound, good taste, good smell, and good touch.
What is good?
Pardon?
What is good?
What is good is the most...
No, this you meaning we call Vasundhara because you are considering something else.
No, the explanation, see, you are all the five senses.
What I'm saying is that this is not a very objective explanation because it is very subjective.
Yes, it is subjective. So
It is very subjective.
No,
so everybody has their own Vasundhara. That is what I'm telling you.
no, they can't be. There can't be, because the five senses.
No, because this good which you are telling.
That is correct.
This you are telling. No, it is not.
I agree with you. At a very...
No, I think this explanation itself is, especially as human, when we are giving Scandinavian country and then India, and then you are telling we are staying in filth. And I'm not fighting for anything, but I'm saying that this is a very, meaning this is your explanation of Vasundhara.
Fine, okay, done.
Scandinavian country is very beautiful. It has got no filth. It has got no. That is your understanding of Scandinavia.
Fine, leave it, because see, this will just go into a debate. So let us cut it off.
No, exactly. No, that is why what I'm saying is, when we are giving, see, these examples when we are giving, they need to be a little bit more objective, meaning it is not something which is so subjective.
Okay, you leave that, but what is Vasundhara is, you should have, when you open up your eyes, it should be the most pleasing.
It should be beautiful.
Yes.
It should be beautiful because Vasundhara is earth.
I know, on earth, wherever you see, wherever you hear, wherever you touch, wherever you smell, and wherever you eat, should be the best. It should be like in heaven. So I just gave an example, maybe not the right example, but you can make it for yourself. It's all the five senses, when touching, hearing, tasting, smelling, it should be the best. Because that is what the heaven is all about. So
Yes.
that is Vasundhara.
So to that extent, yes, what you're saying is right. But then giving an example of Scandinavia, India, filth and all, no, that does not give the right.
Fine, absolutely agreed. See, throw the example, but the fact is, five senses should have the extreme highest form of enjoyment,
Absolutely.
and that's all what it is. So I gave a just as a subjective. If somebody wants to know what is Vasundhara, so I wanted to explain. But the basic fact of Vasundhara is five senses should have the extremely highest form of enjoyment all the time.
Agreed.
Okay, so how the being selects is based upon celestial or based upon earthly. So with this, it's an earthling. With all relationship, it remains as a preta. So the aspect what we are trying to do is to cut the contact with earthling by relationships, so that you end up in real Vasundhara, which is Swarga. Or if you are born back on earth, you should be in Vasundhara. So that's about the experience on how these realms look.
So Vasundhara is not there in this Jagat, right? It is outside of this Jagat. Because
No,
here
no.
Dukkha is, by default it will be there, Dukkha.
No, that will be there. See, now that is the reason I gave an example, and then Padma Shri is right in saying that it is subjective. But I don't know how to make it objective now.
That's okay. So, still do you think that Vasundhara will be there in this earth?
Absolutely. That Dhara is earth only.
Dhara is earth.
Ah.
That's why the word is there. Vasundhara is
Okay.
Now, if you say that, but you have put that on Zoom, you have put that photograph, right? That is actually Vasundhara. But that is again subjective.
Yes.
If I go what Padma Shri says, which is right, then somebody likes that, somebody doesn't like it at all. But the real moment of Vasundhara is your eyes cannot stop enjoying that. Your ears cannot stop enjoying it. Your nose cannot stop smelling it. It will be so nice.
That is, all the five senses have nothing to regret. They are in their happiest moment.
Exactly. So there is no dukkha. So I was telling my wife about Vasundhara, how this works, and I just wanted to give her a comparison so that she knows what's the meaning of Vasundhara. Otherwise, if you're Padma Shri, you already known it, so there is no need to give any subjective explanation about it. But that's what it is. All the five senses are in the most highest form of enjoyment. So, but you will be born in a place, or you will be born when that becomes ready. Either of the two. So, you will be on the cloud.
But one thing, Vilas, when there is a karma attachment with others, see, if I have gone through in this life interaction with many people, if I have no moksha, all that relations either given or taken, I have to satisfy in the next janma. So that means in one janma, I don't know that whether I am able to see all those people, because somewhere I have to get it, somewhere I have to return it.
No, that is where we try cutting it off, right?
Correct. That means this is so complicated process where in one life you can create another million lives by doing the bad karma, bad or good karma, both.
Exactly. So
it's a guaranteed, you and me, either very happy, win-win, or if it is fighting, both, we have to come back again to adjust that account.
Yes, and we keep on doing
In one or the other, what you call janmas.
No,
Because if I am going to take another million years for another janma, you have to wait. If you get moksha, it is okay. Otherwise, you have to wait.
No, right now the four of us in the same direction only.
Hmm.
I'm settling account with three of you.
Oh.
See, three of you are not teaching me, right? I'm teaching you so that I'm settling my karma. And unfortunately, you three.
That means in the previous Janma, something we three have given you. You are returning. What is that?
No, you have given an assignment. I'm delivering it to you in this life.
Assignment. Okay.
Okay. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, you have to keep on listening to me for 1 hour or more. The best part of four of us is that our interaction ends up after exactly 1 hour or 1.5 hours at the max. And after that, we don't meet again.
Yeah.
Just imagine if we four were to stay together and practice, what would have happened? So that karma is not there.
That is not there.
But this karma is there. So it's your karma that you are not able to go away. It's my karma that I am not able to end it. Saying that, okay, tomorrow onwards, I don't want to do this. So that is how this karma works. We can call this as a very divine karma because we are learning something which is good. Same thing in the office, right?
And one more thing, Vilas, is that when you are explaining this, how they are reborn and how things happen, and the karma portion, it is an interplay of all these things that we are existing. It is not one equation.
I know that.
It is not one equation. That equation has got so many variables, and all the variables are plugged in the right place.
Yes.
And then you are getting a equation, and that equation is what we are experiencing.
Correct.
So it is not about meaning when we are listening to one part and think that okay, this is how it is, and then when we are thinking about karma, then we think that okay, this is how it is. It is an interplay of all these things.
It's an interplay of everything.
Yes.
Whatever.
We are learning this at different times. That's all. Meaning when we are talking about this pretatma, pitru, and all these things, we are learning something. And when we are talking about karma, we are learning something else. But then it is not this or that. It is this and that.
It is all. It is all inclusive.
Yeah.
See, the five senses creates karma, and that's five senses with that astral body is preta. So it can't be anything different than that. So everything is associated with it only.
Right. No, I said this as an answer because Bhatt was asking, then what happens about that karma when we are saying, because if this is working, then what happens to that? So, but all of them are putting together and coming here. Meaning, if I am here, it is not coincidental. It is because of all the things which have.
Yes.
It is not. Nothing is coincidental.
Nothing in life is coincidence. Nothing in life is ashcharya. It's a surprise or luck or whatever it is called as. No, nothing is luck or no luck. It happens because of condition matching it. Since we don't know that, and we might call it as luckily, that word or God have showered a lot of boon on us and all that, which is fine to consider, but it is not true.
Meaning, at least it removes the ego out of the
equation. Yes,
at least,
correct.
Yes. So, if I say that okay, it happened because it had to happen, I am taking out the ego there. Meaning, I did it is not there.
Exactly. So we are trying to please that ego shouldn't come. Anyway, so this is what the preta and all that is all about. So we have to cut the relationship to go up. Otherwise, we are in the same place, irrespective of whether we know Vivekachudamani or not. So if I'm in search of a daughter, in this, see, I'll tell you another example. Now, I don't have a daughter and I love daughters. I love to have them. That seed is already there. So what happens is, for the daughter's sake, I will take another birth and have a family, which will be daughters only. So now...
Yeah, that depends on where you take birth. If you are in Bihar, you may not.
I don't know, wherever it is. So wherever feasible, that being will get its life. So it is better to be in Vasundhara rather than on this.
So Vasundhara is still possible without having daughter, son,
Yes,
nothing,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Close
Absolutely.
your eyes, you are Vasundhara.
That is the reason. That is the reason. If you remove this filth out from your mind, what we are doing
Yes.
in this Vivekachudamani, you get Vasundhara right now. Why take another life for getting that Vasundhara? So, what spirituality is to get that highest of the five senses while the current life exists, rather than postponing it to the future life and you don't know whether that Vasundhara is going to come to you or not.
Correct.
So the meditation is on this. Just like we are meditating for our job and family and other things, you have to meditate for this one. So you can have a blissful experience which is nothing but Vasundhara. Now that is satisfied. So there is no filth. So the Swarga on earth is Vasundhara.
Yeah.
Okay, so he says in the 290th verse, continuing, it is actually connecting to what we have discussed so far. He says, Chidatmani Sadanande Deha Rudatma Arudam Aham Dhyam Niveshya Lingam Utrishya Kevalaha Bhava Sarvada. Now, remove the expectation of Vasundhara also. And remove that Deha Arudam Aham Dhyam, that I identification is residing in the body. Niveshya Lingam Utrishya. Now you remove the subtle body. Linga Sharira is the mental body. You remove that. Kevalaha Bhava Sarvada. Now you are just the pure self without any identification. So there is no need to search for Vasundhara also. So you shift from the body to the self.
So this is when you are living, the moha on this body is just leave. And anyway, when there is no Panchabhuta also, now on body also you don't want. And then it says, you have to be Nissanga, right?
Yes, Nissanga.
Bhava Sarvada, that sloka.
Correct.
So, this kind of feeling you can have anywhere in any country. There is no any desha for this. Anywhere,
Yes,
right?
exactly. So you...
Not necessary you have to go to Kashi, Rameshwara for Deha Tyaga.
No, nothing.
And this is not suicide. This is your Tyaga. You are doing Tyaga of your Deha back. Whatever you have taken on lease, you are returning it.
Yes, you are giving it off much early than what that lesser wanted that.
Yeah.
So we have lesser and lessee, right?
Karma bandhana.
So the karma bandhana is with the lesser and the lessee. You have gone back and saying that, look, I am returning back this property.
Whereas if a person is on dhyana, see, other day I got a call, I will tell you, very interesting. One person called me from our ABB Singapore. He was there in Pina those days. And that person called me and told, when he sits for dhyana, one day he forgot himself 5.5 hours he was like that.
Okay.
How people are connecting, I'm unable to even imagine. He just connected with me, I don't know for what. Just to say that hello to me.
Oh, good.
He's a senior person, very senior person.
No, it happens, but
Yeah. And my question to you is, during this time, is it possible to do Dehatyaga?
no, you can't do Deha. You can do Deha Tyaga in your mind. What Shankara is also talking is from the mind. You do the Deha Tyaga in the mind.
Uh-huh.
The month.
Because that person, what he says, doesn't know Vivekachudamani, he doesn't know much about all that. But he knows something, some ritual, the stotra, mantras, something he knows, very limited. But dhyana without any guru, the way he explained me was amazing. Whatever you are talking, he is already practicing, and it is daily happening to him.
Yeah, see, he would have practiced it in his earlier life, and that has come to him. So that doesn't mean that he should know everything of the scripture. See, if I were to give my own example, when I went to Sri Lanka and explained to those monks, they felt very surprised because I am not from Buddha family, or I have not read.
But you were that, right, earlier?
I was that, but as far as the monks were concerned, they were not knowing, right?
Then why you have taken birth in now, where in this kind of family? If you are Buddha, your desire was that.
I don't know. So you leave it. So that we will
Okay.
talk about it sometime later.
Sorry, wrong question.
So now the question comes.
Yeah.
Here. Just like your colleague in Singapore
Yes.
called you up, and
Yes.
he knows about dhyana, where he has not done anything nor read anything. Okay, so when I went to Sri Lanka and was talking to the monks, and they felt the same. Because there is no proper environment to know so many things. I might know something by reading,
Yeah.
but that depth of knowledge is not possible. So they were surprised. How do you know so much? And I don't know.
Is it Siddhi?
It's not Siddhi. Actually, I would have worked out so much in the past lives. So those impressions will still be there. So after coming back from Sri Lanka, one monk approached me saying that why don't you do this every week, English discourses for people in Australia and UK and in Sri Lanka and all that. So I said, okay, I will do it. And there were a lot of people who were asking me. And from 2018 to date, I'm doing it. That has not stopped. But that doesn't mean that I have no interest towards what I'm doing right now with the Vedanta and other things. I'm not proposing this or that. I'm able to understand scriptures as scriptures without any effort. So if I were to take that, if I even take Vivekachudamani as an example, my family has no idea about Vivekachudamani because we are not Shankaracharya followers in the first place.
Yes.
Madhva Vijaya is there at our home. Vivekachudamani nobody knows. And even if they were knowing, they would know at a very superficial level. They can't get an in-depth knowledge of it. Now, neither my family was so much in Upanishad and all that. But if I were
So
to...
Upanishad is not there by Madhvacharya?
No. In my family, I'm talking about. When I...
Okay.
So, see, you should have resources with you, right?
Yeah, correct.
See, you should have a proper condition. Correct? My father and mother, like what you keep on talking about your mother has taught you many things. But in my case, that is not true at all. So my parents were not really religious in that way by keeping so many books and making the children read and study the scriptures and all that. So
You are
that
self-made for this.
yes.
Because you yourself is Vivekachudamani.
So now, how did that come? It came.
Yes, I think you have definitely invested not one life, more than that.
Yes. So it has followed.
That way, because that Buddha and this Vivekachudamani and all that, all when you talk, it's all coming in one line.
Yes.
So you have, it is not definitely not possible in one life.
So now, if that, whenever I reflect upon it, if I read any Upanishad, I can understand the entire sara of it.
Yeah.
It seems like when I read, I already knew it.
See, the thing is, have you studied Sanskrit?
Yes, I have studied Sanskrit
How many years?
from my schooling.
Till PU, right?
No, till the degree.
Or degree also it was there. Okay. Because when I explained that to some Narayana Upanishad and all that, you need a special knowledge for explaining those things. Vedic explanation is totally different, not like normal.
Correct.
So you have studied that as well, Vedic Sanskrit,
Yes,
some time back.
I am aware of that. So the thing is, in this life, I don't have any proper condition which will give me so much of knowledge. Meaning, I have not got into a Veda school to get that knowledge, nor I have a teacher who is a Vedic person and he sits with me in life and blood, what I say. That he has taught me, then I can say I learned it from so and so guru. Nothing of that has happened. So,
This is similar to your background, gives me a feel similar to Vinay Guruji is there, na?
yes,
He was in the college, he was doing all sort of things. But he is very young now, very young. But that person's knowledge about this is amazing. I don't know from where he gets.
no, it would be there. It is just waiting for an environment or a.
And his background is also not in our kind of family.
Yeah, see, if it comes out, any knowledge which comes out, it doesn't
Yes.
require any family background, be it materialistic or spiritualistic, it doesn't matter. See, there are so many people, and I was reading one article yesterday. One girl, she is a daughter of a what is that? He is in this fuel station. And she has got selected for IIT or I don't know, I was reading something about it. And she has secured highest. And we have so many people of that kind, right? Even many scientists and all that, their upbringing was not appropriate to whatever they were. Meaning their parents were not from that background for them to get so much of knowledge. So this will be from a past life, just so that Pitru, when it happened, it comes up with all of this, right? So it will get a body, and if a proper environment comes up, it will literally take some other shape than what it is. So some people become sinner even though born in a saint family, and some people become saint even though born in a sinner's family. So we can't say whether the sinner will remain as a sinner or a saint will remain as a saint. Both are wrong. So when it comes, let us say I am born in a very beautiful family, but I have this from my beginning, from my young age, I used to what I can say, do theft. So I might become the best thief, even though born in a very good family. So everything can happen. I think it is time.
Yeah, it is time.
So we'll meet up on
Thank you,
Monday.
Vilas.
Yeah, sure.
Monday.
Yeah, Lata, I think you were totally silent for 1 full hour. So you have taken the role of Padma Shri now.
Yes, I have started. I was the one who was asking all the questions earlier. So now, then Butts has taken. Now I think it's Padma Shri's turn. So I'll become silent.
Okay. Fine.
So you will be watching without connection, right? Observing us.
Yeah, I'm observing. I'm observing all your thought process. I am observing all your thought process.
So you'll be able to read my mind.
Yeah. I can read all your minds.
Actually, I am asking questions most of the time, Vilas, for the sake of asking. Sometimes I feel that. I am getting all the message.
No, it is okay. Otherwise, it is going to become
Because
boring.
if I don't ask, then you just jump one sloka to the other sloka and there is no discussion happens.
Yes, it is good.
Yeah, you go like an express train.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was in previous sloka, you are in 2 slokas ahead. I'll be keep thinking about that sloka. All my questions are 1 sloka before when you explain some slokas.
Fine. So all the 3 can stop and ask question. I have no problem.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, Vilas.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.